October the 19th, 2018. Welcome to the Third Down Show. I'm your host, T. Wayne the Don. Listen, it is a beautiful day to be alive on this beautiful October the 19th. It's Friday, y'all. It is officially Friday. So, it's the Friday edition of Third Down. But we're not going to hold y'all too long. We're going to talk a little bit about LSU and Mississippi State tomorrow. Give my thoughts on what I expect to see from the Tigers on tomorrow night. Also, I promised you to talk more about the Pelicans on what they did. They did go to Houston on game one. They now find themselves at 1-0 to play the Sacramento Kings tonight. The Pelicans really do have a golden opportunity to find themselves to be maybe at least 4-0 to start the season. But we'll get into that after a while. Then we're looking to New Orleans Saints. The Saints going to take on the road opponents of the Baltimore Ravens, a team that Drew Brees has never defeated. And see that this is probably his last time to be eligible to play the Baltimore Ravens, to defeat the Ravens. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Maybe some other things I got in mind. But let's go ahead on and jump to LSU, Mississippi State on tomorrow. LSU going to take on the 22nd ranked Bulldogs, if I'm not mistaken. LSU leads the series 73-35 and 3 ties in this game. And last year they was been on a 14-game win streak. But last year, remember, actually at one point in time, remember when Dak Prescott was there, they went to Death Valley and beat LSU in Death Valley. And but last year they blew them out the water, 35-7. In Starksville. Now they're coming to Death Valley to play at nighttime tomorrow. I know they're wearing these different type of Army jerseys tomorrow, I believe. It's almost for recruitment reasons. Just trying to recruit guys to know that we can wear other jerseys besides our traditional. They're doing that tomorrow. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm interested to see. I know LSU is a 6.5 point favorite tomorrow. To me, I guess my thing is I want to see how they're going to slow down Nick Fitzgerald. And I think last year that's where they struggled the most. And I like Mississippi State's defense, because Mississippi State's defense really do plays hard-nosed football. They're going to play with you all the way to the end. And they're going to put themselves almost similar to what LSU has done so far this year, where any top 10 opponent, the defense will put you in a spot to contend to win the game late. But I want to see this going to be a dress rehearsal for LSU this weekend. They don't have a game next weekend. They'll be getting prepared, some rest, getting prepared for Alabama. The big weekend in the state of Louisiana, because once again, I'm going to say this again, especially if the Saints can find themselves winning this weekend, and they can potentially find themselves next weekend to win on the road in Minnesota, you're going to have potentially 2 teams in the state of Louisiana who have 1 loss playing an undefeated team between the 3rd and the 4th of November. It's going to be a lit weekend if both teams still find themselves with 1 loss playing undefeated teams for the season, with a lot on the line for playoff positioning and also for potentially find yourself in the Final Four if you LSU. So I'm interested to see that tomorrow. But like I said, my biggest thing, my key guy is definitely be Nick Fitzgerald. And all in all, to be honest with you, as a passer, he's really not all that. He got 4 TDs, 3 interceptions. But how he beats you with his legs. He's the leading rusher, the quarterback, the leading rusher for this team. He actually have just as many passing yards almost as rushing yards. He's only about 200 yards shy of rushing yards compared to his passing yards. He has 709 rushing yards. So, he's an all-around athlete. He's not no true, real quarterback. I think if he do go into the NFL draft, he's going to have to make a decision. He's going to probably would. These are your Taysom Hill type guys that you have right now. So, interested to see that tomorrow. I want to see how you're going to slow this man down. LSU is the favorite to win this game. I want to see them win this game 35-7, to be honest with you, because once you shut down Nick Fitzgerald, what else do you have? You really don't have a lot left over when you shut him down. And like I said, Mississippi State defense plays hard. But if you can gas them out early and, continue to do what you normally do, it would be good to really see Joe Burrow at least throw a couple of touchdowns in the end zone this week just to give him some confidence, because against Alabama, he's going to be asked to throw a lot. with a shaky defense. They're not as strong as they were in the last couple of years. They've just been having a solid offense. And I know Tua has been hurt. I wonder if he's going to play this week. I know also, you still got Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts is, he brought you to the national championship game to a degree. He just didn't win it for you, But he's very, very humble. I like where he at with his role. Like, he's accepting his role where he's at, where he knows that he might not be eligible after these 4 games to be, I think a midway transfer or something like that. Don't quote me on that one, but I know he can only go up to 4 games. If he's starting to play more, he's going to lose his eligibility. So, but he's playing hard, and you can tell he loves that school. And he just want to win, and he want to prove himself. So I respect Jalen Hurts. I said this before the season started, that Jalen Hurts is somebody who I'm pulling for as a starter, just to see how much he's going to try to improve people wrong. That's what I want to do. So, on that note, those are things I'm looking forward to this weekend. I know it really should be a good weekend with college football this weekend. Just look at a few top matchups that I think that's very key. Michigan State is a top matchup. I want to see if Michigan can win on the road and still put themselves in contention. Because Jim Harbaugh win big games, to me, is the story mode for that game this weekend. Oklahoma TCU, could that be an upset game from Oklahoma? We don't really know too much about that. Clemson and NC State, 2 teams that's undefeated. I mean, NC State trying to put themselves in the mix of something. You never know what can happen against number 3 Clemson. Washington State and Oregon over the weekend. It's going to be a good game. 2 top 25 teams this weekend. So really, truly, it's a quiet weekend for college football. You don't really have too many top 25 matchups against each other this weekend. But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the next couple of days with college football. So this is going to lead me to my next segment before I get into the Pels and the Saints and the NFL. So tomorrow, I looked at the schedule on ESPN, is that LSU will play at 7. And so right after LSU, normally, when we have these West Coast games, there's always a West Coast team that's playing about 9:30. That's starting off, be 7 o'clock, 7:30 their time, out there in California or out there in the West. Instead, we get fed LeBron James and company tomorrow against the Houston Rockets. I'm very mixed emotion about that because, first thing first, let's go ahead, let's talk. Let me put the theme song on for you. Let's talk a little basketball. Once again, basketball is officially came back. I don't know how excited I really am about basketball, but I will tell you the God honest truth is that I was very, very impressed with the Pelicans did the other night against the Houston Rockets. Is that they was able to go into a true contender's house, game 1, and leave an emphatic statement against a team that's truly a contender for the world title. And my biggest thing about that is that I'm not saying that the Pelicans have arrived, but you just don't go into a house that has these high expectations. Now, Houston has some problems, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I want to talk about right quick is the NBA scheduling system. Now, I think I was talking to me and my brother was on Xbox the other night. We was talking about all type of stuff. We always talk about different type of things, and we was talking about the NBA when it come down to. I wish the NBA had the flex system like the NFL have. And like, well, what you mean? I remember a few years ago when the Saints was going through. I remember one year on Sunday Night Football, they defeated the Colts. I think it was 62-7, I believe. And maybe about a week or two later, the game against the Detroit Lions got flexed. It was a 12 o'clock game, but I think the Lions was having a good season that year, and the Saints was having a good season that year. And whoever was the Sunday night game that Sunday, they took it off and put the Lions and the Saints in that spot because it was a better matchup, for primetime television. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint like this. Cool, that's fine and dandy. How come the NBA don't have more of a standpoint like that? Because they feed right now. They feed because not Cleveland, what LA did last night showed that, and I didn't watch it, but there was parts I did see, but I didn't really pay attention to it because I really didn't want to see it. LA don't have shooters, which we already do. We knew that was going to happen. They don't have no shooters. They don't really have, you know, people that's going to knock down shots. Now, Kyle Kuzma is really going to be needed to be out there because to me, he's going to be the more consistent with the knockdown shots. Caldwell Pope is not your best three-point shooter. You know, you can't rely on Rajon Rondo. You can't rely on Lonzo Ball. You can't rely on them cats like that. Brandon Ingram to step out and really do moves like that. It's not going to happen. And one thing that I'm hearing and I read that they think that team chemistry is going to take some time, and it will. But you're going to need a few shooters out there to help you out in this league. You're going to definitely need that. My thing is why are we getting forced so much to see this team, and this team not going to really give us the best performance? If this team lose tomorrow night against the Rockets, who, if you ask me, who really got to have an identity check for themselves, because I don't think that Houston, you know, losing Trevor Ariza, Mama Mabute all this past season really showed up against the Pelicans defensively. You know, you had 70-plus points in the paint against New Orleans. I mean, you look at put it like this, you know, Julius Randle came off the bench, and that was bench points with 25 points off the bench. And he made it look easy. And that's been the biggest thing about Mike D'Antoni's system is defensively they can't play defense. But easily, he had 25 points come off that bench the other night. AD had 32. Nikolai Mirotic at one point was 6 for 6 from the three-point line before he missed a few shots. 6 for 6. I think he was 6 for 7 in the ball game the other night. So, you know, my thing is when we get, especially, I don't think you should start flexing it because the Lakers have at least 15 games that's nationally televised before we even get to Christmas. And you know, once we get over the Christmas hump going into January, we're going to start seeing more and more of the Lakers. Because, you know, that's when seasons really do change. Football season's on the verge of ending. College basketball starts to take a peak to a degree because with March Madness coming up. And then we start getting rumors about winter's training for baseball that start to come back up again. But basketball is truly at its peak getting prepared for the playoffs. If you ask me, should we have more games that are flex? What if the Lakers don't live up to expectations? Because true Laker fans think they're gonna win 50 games. I don't see this team winning 50 games. You know, just like I think what Max Kellerman said earlier on ESPN, at least 45 because you have LeBron, 45 to 46 games. If you ask me. Now, I think they're going to find some way to bring shooters to help LeBron James out. That's a true point. They're going to have to, or they're going to win 45, 46 games this year. They're going to really struggle. But if you ask me the God honest truth, I think you're looking at I still say 46, 45 win season. But what if you have matchups like meaningful matchup where you think about New Orleans and Denver down the line playing each other late in the season and they got a lot on the line. I think people would be more interested to see that and also put more of the talent that you don't get to see too much on TV. I mean, we at least say Anthony Davis the third best player in the NBA, but how often is he on national televised? It's all because of the team that he played for. He plays for a small market team. The thing I like about the NFL is it don't matter how big your market is. Just make us some money to a degree. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are probably the most famous market in the NFL. I say Dallas, I say New England. And then you start looking at Pittsburgh, Miami, San Francisco. You know, these are Green Bay. These are your more traditional powerhouses truly with the NFL. When you think about championship success and also just the fan base that they bring. Pittsburgh fans travel with them well. San Francisco has been loyal, dedicated fan base, even through all the ups and downs that they've been going through. Dallas is like a rock show where they travel on the road. Like there's cowboy fans everywhere.